Hello and welcome back to the Preppy podcast. Thank you all so much for being here and listening today. As always, I have a fabulous episode. We are talking with Schaefer, who is the founder of Hey Friends. We chat about how she actually started this business in high school. It originated as a YouTube channel, then turned into a t-shirt line, and finally today it is a full women's clothing line. She even teases that for holiday season, she is going to have some home decor and gifts as well. So we chat about everything from her inspiration, challenges, triumphs, and where the brand is headed. So stay tuned for that. But before we get into the interview, a few reminders. The first being that we have two Camp Preppies left for 2026, and they are going to be some good ones. So the first is in October, and that will be at Kennebunkport. This will be our 1 year celebration of Camp Preppy. So we are really going to live it up and enjoy New England in the fall. It's going to be beautiful. We have about 2 tickets left for that one. You can find those at thepreppypodcast.com or shoot me a direct message and I will send you a link to that. And then lastly, we have our Barnsley Resort Camp Preppy. That will be the end of November going into the first few days of December. And it is going to be all holiday themed. I've been wanting to do a holiday Camp Preppy and here it is. So think holiday crafts, think like dressing for Christmas and the holidays, like tartans and glitz and glam and sequins, as well as, of course, you can expect needlepoint and mahjong arts and crafts at all of our Camp Preppies and like an amazing gift bag. So get those tickets for both of them at thepreppypodcast.com. And then lastly, Club Preppy, our monthly membership. We do at least one virtual event per month, things like wine tastings, talking with experts in style and design fields. We do tablescaping tips, napkin folding, all sorts of fun activities. So if you love hosting, if you love learning new things, if you love a preppy lifestyle, Club Preppy is for you. And it's a great way to dive in before investing in Camp Preppy. So you can test that out. You can find information for Club Preppy and Camp Preppy at thepreppypodcast.com. Okay, so why don't you first let everyone know who you are, where you live, and what you do?
Perfect. Hi, my name is Schaefer Santos. I live in Erie, Pennsylvania, and I'm the owner of Hey Friends, a label, women's clothing line that's based here in Pennsylvania.
Excellent. And so I was saying offline earlier that I found you because Morgan of Jackson Morgan, she bought a piece of yours and posted about it. And I was like, that's so cute. I need to like buy this. I need more information. And then I started following you and I purchased a set and I love it. And I've gotten so many compliments. So I'm thrilled to have you on the podcast today to learn more about you and your brand.
I'm excited. And you, during that set, looked so cute on your Instagram. That made my day that day, so I loved it.
Oh, thank you. It was perfect. It's so comfortable. So let's start at the beginning. Tell me about you as a kid. Did you grow up in Pennsylvania too? What was your childhood like? Were you creative? Were you entrepreneurial? I'd love to hear that.
Yeah, so I grew up, born and raised Pennsylvania. My family owns a business here in town. My grandparents started back in 1974, actually. And it's a silk screen and promotional products company. So, like screen printing, embroidery, kind of like that kind of space. So, I actually started Hey Friends when I was 16, but it was kind of an accident. I grew up around screen printing and t shirts my whole entire life. And then one day I'm like, I'm going to start a little Etsy store with just like it was like 7 easy designs that I screen printed myself at the shop because I just grew up around it my whole entire life. And then it kind of just snowballed from there because I was not going to be like a career thing. I was in the summer between my junior or sophomore and junior of high school.
Okay.
So it was like not a full-time thing. It was not serious. It was definitely not like a career move at that
Mhm.
point at all. But then it just kind of kept growing and snowballed. But now Hey Friends is really expanded to like cut and sew production like from scratch. But it really started with like just some t-shirts on Etsy. But
That's so cool.
yeah, it's come
I
a
mean,
long way.
yes. Well, I also think I love hearing from women and men who grew up in like a family business or industry and clearly were inspired by that because I know even me watching my grandfather be an entrepreneur, like that inspired me to want to start something. So I just feel like it puts this like interest or bug in you. And sometimes it takes people a while to realize that they want to be part of it or they have that interest, but like they've always just known it. Like it's come naturally, if that makes sense.
Yeah, and I was always very creative growing up. I was always making messes, and I'm very crafty, I would say, to this day. Even around my house, I'm constantly, oh gosh, like wallpapering or hanging up plates, or just I am constantly like just a little crafty machine. I feel like all the time. So it was really fitting, for me to be doing this now. I've always just been a really creative person.
Definitely. Okay, so you started with some screen printed T-shirts on Etsy, and but nothing serious. You didn't think it'd be a career or business. So then, what happened when it came time for college? Like, where and what did you study? If you went, was it something business or fashion related? Like, tell me about that journey and like what you thought you would do then.
Yeah. So I'm a youngest of four siblings. We're a very college family. Like all my siblings have like very practical, like safe careers. And when it came around like senior year, I really like wasn't into the whole college thing because I already was working at this point. I was already selling wholesale, so my t-shirts were already in like a lot of stores all over the U.S. And I was just really busy with this little like side hobby thing I started. So the whole college thing was coming around. And I kind of kept like joking to my parents, like, I'm not going. And they were like, really? Like, it was not a funny joke to them. They were like, ha ha, ha, like, not funny. And also, my senior year of high school, I did dual enrollment. So I took two college classes half my day. And
Oh,
I absolutely hated it. It was so bad. I was like wasting my time. And it was like an Irish lit class, and I would be sitting in this class like kicking myself, and I'm learning about like this Irish poet James Joyce. I still remember that. And one of those things, stick with you. And I have a stack of work on my desk that has to get done today. I have orders that have to go out. So like my priorities just really were not aligned with the whole college thing. It was kind of getting in my way, honestly, which is really
yeah.
funny to say now. And also, this was also like COVID time. So like my high school was weird. I went to school like 2 days a week, and then the other was online. So I was just like working all day constantly on Hey Friends. And
Yeah.
then also senior year, I randomly one day in November got an email from a producer at the Drew Barrymore show. Out of the blue, just totally, I thought the email was fake because big people from New York City don't email you to be on a talk show, on a random Tuesday. So it ended up to be a real email. I saw Hey Friends online, wanted to learn more about me, went through like a bunch of rounds of emails and meetings and like questioning and things like that. And then they were like, hey, we'll have you on the show. It's going to be so much fun. And I was like, this escalated so quickly. This is amazing. And then next thing you know, I got ghosted for 4 months. I heard nothing. And I was like, oh, that would have been a lot of fun if that would have worked out.
Yeah.
And then one random day in March, I had got a call from him that a segment opened up, because I think it's really like the timing of it kind of
Yeah.
goes fast, and things get cut, things get added on really, really quick.
Yeah.
So then within like a week, I was like taped the show, aired the next day, and then that whole thing happened. So that was all within like a few months of each other. So
Okay.
that just gave me a lot of confidence. When the show aired, I mean, my whole shop blew up. I got a lot of confidence from that to like take things full time, and just like a lot of credibility. That was
Yes.
the thing I did not expect. So came around to graduating, I decided not to go to college. I graduated
Okay.
technically workforce is what they call it. Um, Hit the ground running, working for Hey Friends. I still work for my family too to this day, because my
Okay.
office and them kind of like I took over a little part of the warehouse a little bit. So
Oh,
I still work for my dad to this day, which
okay.
is a lot of fun too. So I've just been doing that ever since, and that's been, gosh, like 5 years ago, I think this year.
Wow. I
Yeah.
love
So
that. I think there's like a path for everyone. And I know so many people who didn't go the college route because I don't think it's for everyone. And it sounds like you already, you were getting real life experience with business that you didn't need it. And you had the family, you're having family in business kind of to help you guide you, like answer questions. That's real life business school, right?
yeah. Yeah, so I
Definitely.
already had a good thing going, It was just kind of what
Yeah.
event, which sounds so it was going to be a waste of time, but I just had a good thing going. I think it's more popular now not to be going to college, but I think even 5 years ago, like it was like my family, I was a big controversy in my family. And it was like, "Can you believe Schaefer's not going to college?" But now everyone's like, that was such a good decision. And also,
Yeah,
it was COVID, so like the classes were weird. We were all masked up. Like it
totally.
really wasn't even like the college experience. Not that I had any desire for that
Yeah.
anyway. But it was one of those things.
So then let's back it up a little bit. Tell me, how'd you come up with the name Hey Friends, and sort of what did these initial t-shirts look like, and how did you I think it's one thing like having an Etsy account, but then having wholesale. So I'd love to talk about, the business when you started it, and then obviously we'll get into what it is today. But tell me about that first
Yeah.
initial foray into
So, oh
business.
gosh, my first like few t-shirts, I can't even like stand to look at now. It's just so funny. But like when you're 16 making some things in your bedroom, you're like, oh, this is amazing. Like, and I was really making it like for like my friends and I. That's kind of how it
Yeah.
started too. It's like, oh, we would love to wear these in the summer, or it was very like a that style. Um, I would not wear them today. I have them all, of course, like in a box upstairs, like for memories, but I'm not wearing
Yeah.
these things today. So the name of Hey Friends started. I had also a YouTube channel in high school, which I was just like, a creative kid always.
Yeah.
And in my videos, I would always, for some reason, I always started the video by saying, "Hey friends, welcome back to my channel," or something. And like that. I had a fashion blog too in high school where I'd kind of do like a similar kind of styling like that. And it just kind of stuck. I feel like I was like, people would like, I was just kind of known for saying "Hey Friends" a ton, and it just kind of was like a good fitting thing at the time. Would it be a different name now? Probably. It would be like if I started things today, it probably would not be Hey Friends.
Yeah.
But I always wanted to have like a really uplifting, positive brand, and it always really fit that.
Mhm.
So it sticks and it works. But
I love that.
I
No,
wish
that's
there was some
perfect.
like grand thing, but it's like, no, you're just like 16 and like name something. you know?
I feel like so many brands, like I ask that question a lot because I'm always curious. Like sometimes it's super random, like, someone's husband says this one phrase and then it sticks, or, something organically like that. It's just interesting to me to find out how people come up with their names. And me, even with, Peaked PR, my business, and the Preppy podcast, like I love P words, being named Patricia, and I love like alliteration. So it
Yeah.
always is just a fun thing to ask. But then tell me about, going from Etsy to wholesale because there's such different beasts. So how
Yes.
were stores finding you, like, or how were you finding them initially?
Yeah, so I learned about wholesale by accident. So I had launched Hey Friends like 3 weeks into its little lifespan. And I randomly one day went to like a new boutique in my town that just opened up, and I just popped in there after work. And I started talking with the owner, and I was like, oh, I have a little line I just started, like no business even like talking about what I'm doing because it was like this big at the time. And she's like, oh, do you sell wholesale? And I didn't even know what the word meant. I just said, yeah, I do. And then I got back in my car, like Googled it, and I was like, okay, I can do that. Like, that's fine. So I started working for her the next summer, and that was really great for me. I got to learn about like retail and just like the buyer side of things, also having a brand. And meanwhile, I'm like freshly 17, like just figuring all of this out. But it was so much fun, And having like a boutique job in high school was like a luxury. I felt like, because my friends were working, like fast food restaurants, and I was like going to my little boutique job after school, which was so much fun at the time. And that's how I got to learn more about wholesale and the buying sides of things. And then there's a platform called Fair, where a lot of stores buy from. You probably have heard of it before. And she was buying a ton of stuff for the store on there. And then she's like, you need to get on here. But it took me like, I think, a year to get accepted.
Oh,
Like
wow.
at
Okay.
the time, it was super picky and choosy of who they let on there. I think now it's kind of maybe more of like a free for all. But at the time, it was really hard to get on there. And I put my dues in. I would email constantly, like trying to get on there. Then once I did, it was amazing. So that's how. So really, once you're on there, you kind of do no work. It's kind of like for people who don't know, Fair is like an Amazon marketplace for people who own stores. So you can go on there
Yes.
and buy things for your store at a wholesale price. So really, it's a marketplace. They come there to buy. So that really kind of got Hey Friends going, because it was kind of like organically, people just finding my stuff on there, and
Wow.
that really got things going, because also like the orders are just so much bigger. Those orders are like one t-shirt at a time. We're like 30, 40 t-shirts at a time. So
Yes.
it was just a lot of fun too to get things going, and just help the cause, helped it all grow.
Yes. Well, I love a few points that you mentioned there. I am someone that is totally like a yes girl, say yes, figure it out later. Like when someone asks you, do you wholesale? You're like, yeah, even though I have no idea what that is, but like I'll figure it out. And
I didn't hear
that's
the word
totally me.
before.
And then I do think I always say, like, to high school or college girls, or even someone just not sure what they want to do, like test everything. And if you I working in PR, I specialize more with lifestyle brands and businesses, and I worked at boutiques, because I do think when you see the other side of something, you kind of learn then what buyers are looking for, how wholesale works, or like more about the construction process of what makes something cost more than something else, right? So I think getting like jobs that you might not think are exactly what you want to do, they help you in the long run, like understand the bigger picture of the industry.
Yeah, no, I learned a ton from that, and even just managing stores and how like you have to make things simple because your store owners have no time to be
Yeah.
tagging things, going through just things like that.
Yeah.
I just got like a really good like bird's eye view, I think, of a lot of stuff.
Totally. So let's talk about then, hey friends, as it is today, because in addition, like you have now, like you said, skirts, tops, all sorts of things, not just screen printed. So how did you go about from like screen printing t-shirts to having this whole collection and different apparel pieces?
Yeah, so I started with screen printing because that was what was really accessible to me. But I've always dreamed about like creating things from scratch, like just designing this from like paper to product. But I wasn't really doing that for the longest time. I was really afraid of like production and like trying to figure that out. Like it took me like probably a year to start like getting like the ball rolling on that because I didn't know where to start. You
Yeah.
know, Erie, PA, we don't have like I don't live in like a big city where we have like manufacturers or better connections. I would also not say Erie is like a big fashion capital of the world, really either. So I just kind of started online poking around with different manufacturers. I feel like I've lived 10 lives on manufacturing. It is such a headache sometimes, but also so amazing, but also a pain at times. So I started manufacturing in New York City at first. I did 4 collections in New York because I wanted things to be made in America, but then, you know, through the whole process of things, it was a lot just better for me at the time to switch manufacturing elsewhere. But I'm glad I did it because I think it was easier, I think, maybe to learn the ins and outs because I could just like fly to the city. It's like a 2 hour
Yeah.
plane ride for me, have my meetings, do this, that, and then fly home that night. It was a lot easier.
Yeah.
Right now, I manufacture OGs in like 5 different countries. Kind of depends what I'm
Wow.
working on.
Okay.
My sleep schedule is in shambles because you know time zones are a crazy thing, and I feel like I'm constantly. I have like an internal clock now. Like 3 a.m. I wake up, look at my phone, see if anything needs to be answered, and I like sleep. Like without fail, especially right now, I'm like in the messy middle of production in India and China, trying to get some things lined up for next year, and it is
Yeah.
just like a battle right now. But it was a scary process because also you know overseas like wiring money overseas hoping you get a
Yeah.
product in 6 months like that can be stressful.
Yes.
I think it happened a perfect timing when it was supposed to. So I did 4 lines in New York, then I switched over to India, and that's when like it was honestly the worst timing in the possible world. So I had think I committed to going switching production to India in like July 2 years ago, and
Okay.
then like January 1st, like those crazy tariffs got
Mm.
announced.
Yeah.
So I spent like 2 years just fighting with customs agents, I swear, on what are
Oh
the requirements for this, that. That was a good, I guess, a hard learning thing that I never had to deal
no.
with. But even though, fun fact, even too, so like in New York City, when I would do production in New York City, I would still pay like a 15% tax because of like the New York state tax. So
Yeah.
really, like, it wasn't that crazy difference because I was already paying like a tax or like tariff kind of
Mhm.
with my stuff in the States. So it just kind of snowballed. So now I produce stuff in China, mostly Vietnam and India. It depends on what season I'm
Okay.
doing things in.
Yeah.
But oh, production is so much fun. Oh.
Definitely. I hear that from everyone, I feel like. So then in terms of silhouettes and styles, like how do you come up with those? What was the thought process? For example, I got that it's like a skirt, it's sort of like a wrap skirt front, but it's shorts. So how do you define and come up with those?
Yeah. Hey, friends. Well, I always say it's really selfishly whatever I want, but it's my
Yeah.
line, so I guess I can say that. But it really comes from like whatever I'm loving, whatever cuts I'm loving, or prints or styles. Um, it really just comes from that. And then I feel like I'm not like a trendy person. I never have been like a super trendy. That's just like not me.
Yeah.
So it's just really it's whatever I want. I love like a classic style. I'm very preppy in the way I dress. I love like coastal. I'm from Pennsylvania, but like I live on like Lake Erie, so to me like I'm from like a coastal area, even though people don't probably think that when they think of Pennsylvania. So it's just whatever I want, whatever I'm loving. If I'm inspired by something, and that can be oh my gosh anything, either like a color palette or a throw pillow or anything like that. I feel like I find inspiration from everything I do, which
Yeah.
is also a lot of fun.
Yeah, definitely. So, what collection are you working on right now? Like, how far in advance are you working? When it has fall launched yet for you? Are you launching fall soon? Like, tell me about where you are in production and, I guess season wise in terms of what's coming out.
I am never far enough ahead, ever. I try so hard. I do things so far in advance, but I'm also still a team of one. So I just simply, and then it just, you can't, you think you have so much time, and then time just goes like this, and you just run out. So right now, and fall's a little bit messy right now, not really. So half of it just shipped. Half of it, I'm still sampling one thing, and then other half's like going into production, hopefully, like as we speak. So we're getting fall wrapped up. Holiday is kind of on the way too. That is like half development, half production. And then
Okay.
I'm working on really trying to lock down spring and summer for next year. And then I
Okay.
need to start working on fall for next year now.
Wow. Yeah.
So I have like a million little like pipelines going right now, like each season, what's going on with what, this and that. So I'm getting there, but I've
Yeah.
gotten figured out this week, and it always does work out. But sometimes it's overwhelming when you like I have like one season here, and then you have to answer this email about the whole other collection, and then this thing here, there's a problem with this and that. So it's a lot of like juggling every day of like what is what, and also like what has to happen right now to stay on track, and then what can I do later.
Yes, for sure. And there's only so much you can plan for, right? It's like even if you're planning so far advanced, like for next fall and next spring, things that you plan, like you said, for this fall, like it might not be where you want it to be for that one style. So you have to rework that.
These huge like chain stores, they're like right now like almost 3 years ahead, which is
Yeah.
crazy to me. And also my problem is I might not, if I design fall right now, I might not like it next year. Like I might change my mind. So that's also where I kind of like to like design more like as close as I can. But yeah, I do need to get ahead. I am trying. It's just so hard.
Yeah. And so are you still wholesaling then? Even with these new silhouettes, are you still on fair or yeah.
So I'm constantly doing both of those things. Wholesale is a lot of fun because it's so fun to like. It's so rewarding to like, have your thing in a store. People buy it in a store.
Yeah.
That's really like fun feeling. But I do. I love wholesale. I think it's a lot of fun. It's again so fun seeing it in stores. Like, and even when I'm traveling, I try to visit some stores that have my line. It's just like the best feeling ever. So I do a lot of that. But then like so that makes production planning hard because wholesale is a whole different season. So
Hmm.
I kind of always like I feel like end up on the end of the season wholesale wise, but my line's really small batch. I don't get a whole ton made. So really, like I feel like I just have like my core stores that order from me, and that kind of eats up all my inventory for wholesale anyway.
Okay.
It's working out, but I am always kind of on the edge of the bubble, I think, when it comes to like the seasons, but I'm getting there.
No, I love it. So tell me about then. Obviously, you said you love your wholesale clients. Who would be your dream customer though? Like in terms of if there's like a wholesale store or like a specific person, like an influencer, celebrity, like who would be a dream customer to wear your line?
Oh my gosh. Just I think in general, oh my gosh. I guess I'll do like one big general bubble. Just someone that like loves dressing for fun and like classic style. I think I really love one store. I'm dying. I have like a pipe dream of getting like Hey Friends and Dillard's. I don't really know why. That just to me is like would be like so amazing. I've had one chain store carry my line a few years ago.
Okay.
It was called Fabric, which was a lot of fun. But that's like a pipe dream is like I don't know why for some reason Dillard's is just like the best thing ever for
Yeah.
me. I don't even have one near I live. We're near I live, but for some reason I just feel like they would like look it would look so good in there.
Yes.
So either that or just like somebody honestly like you who like loves everything
Oh,
they do, loves fashion, loves styling, just loves having a lot of fun. And like loves like I love like putting on an outfit and like you know you love it, you're like glowing in it, and you just feel a different way when you love what you're wearing, and I just love that, and I want
yes.
people to have that.
Yep. I love that. Or like when you're wearing an outfit out and everyone's complimenting you and you're like, "Ah, see, like everyone loves it as much as I do." Or like the styling aspect, like you mentioned, like we were talking about, you styled your beautiful scarf on you today. Like I have this chunky necklace. Like it's fun. I love having fun with clothing, right? And that's what it's all about.
Yes.
What about a resource for listeners? I love asking this because I learn so much and take away a lot. But in terms of, is there like a book you've read on business? Is there a group you're part of? Is there a newsletter you subscribe to or a person you follow on Instagram? Like, what's something that's helped you and you would recommend for others?
Oh gosh. I have this one like specific thing. I think I'm always just like a sponge. I feel like I'm always like my brain never really shuts off with Hey Friends because it is like a hobby and a job. It's a perk. But my brain never shuts off. I feel like I'm constantly saving things everywhere. I'm always a sponge. I'm always learning to learn more or learn how somebody else did something. I think that's how you kind of how you have to be. Really always changing. I think you always have to be really aggressively trying to learn the most you can and better things you can be doing. So I don't know if it's one specific thing, but I think I'm always just a sponge trying to grow, trying to learn. That's all you can do, really.
Yeah, no, for sure. I'm all about taking like online classes or popping in or asking someone for coffee, just learning, like you said, constantly. Now, obviously, Drew Barrymore was a pinch me moment. Any other like things that have really stuck out and sort of elevated your brand or business to the next level, gotten you there, or just you've been so proud of it and are a great pinch me moment?
Oh gosh. Well, that's it. Drew Barrymore's the biggest one by far.
Mhm.
That was definitely. I would love to get back on him. I always email like, "Oh, and do like a little update story," because it has been like 6 years since that happened. So it has been some
Oh,
time. We've grown a ton. Because I wasn't even doing like cut and sew production then. That was
yeah.
just like my t-shirts at the time. So that would be like a great pinch me moment. I don't know. I feel like I've just had a lot of like really amazing like customer emails that I get pretty frequently. I'm pretty lucky with that. Of like, I've been really struggling with the way my body image is right now. I've been feeling really down about myself. And I tried on this dress and I loved it so much. And that like makes my heart just want to explode because I put a lot of thought into my designs and Hey Friends, even like the content care label. I always have like a memo on that, or I'm really intentional with like all like the little details for
Yeah.
Hey Friends. And I put so much like love in things. I feel like you can like kind of feel that when you wear stuff. People tell me that, which is so much fun. So I think that's a big thing for me, like how good people say that they feel in my line and my stuff, and how much they love it. That always makes me feel just really good.
Definitely. No, I think hearing from customers, it like makes what you do worth it, right? And on those hard days, like I even keep notes that people send me and I have them in my drawer and all on a bulletin board because on those hard days, I go and read them or look at them. And it makes it all worth it. So now I'm curious, what is your favorite piece right now on your website? And then what's your bestseller?
Right now, oh my gosh, oh gosh. So I just launched like my biggest like summer collection ever. It was like 17 pieces and I loved it all very much. My favorite thing I would have to say is probably the piece you have, our Cove Wrap Skirt in the
Yes.
sorbet color. I love that so much. It's so much fun for summer and it looks like a skirt but has some built-in shorts in it and it's so much fun. And I recently like I'm dabbling in golfing this year. I say dabbling because it's really not serious, but it's been so much fun to wear at golf and even like on walks with my friends around the house. Like it's just like the most ultimate piece ever.
Yeah.
Um, I'm really enjoying that. And then our best seller this summer, I think a few things. I would say our Zest dress in the sand color. So we have like a longer short sleeve dress and like a little sand tan gingham. That was probably a bestseller this summer. And then honestly, the top I'm wearing, this is like a little white
Classic.
Robert Kennedy top. You have this in the pink, I think.
Yes. Yep.
This has been a bestseller. Just like a really like elevated basic, which I really love so much. And even that pink one that you have, that's been a bestseller. Everything has sold quite well this summer. I feel like everything is like so picked over size wise, which I like love secretly because it's like I loved it.
You're like, I nailed it.
Yeah, like there's either like extra smalls or like maybe an extra large left, or like it's so scattered, which I
Yeah,
love. So happy about that.
totally. What about sneak peek for fall then? Like anything customers can expect or look for or holiday even? I'm like, so I'm already at holiday, I feel like mentally. I'm like
I know,
ready
I
for
know.
cozy and glitz and fun.
Fall's fun this year. I have kind of a new, actually, some new styles. You can
Ooh,
see. So I'm trying to think what you can see still. So we have some really fun drop waist stuff coming, which I was kind of afraid for the longest time of like the drop waist style, but I love it. I think it's so flattering. People are afraid of like that style because it's like flat across where you don't want it to be flat sometimes.
yeah.
But I think everyone should try a drop waist skirt or dress. I think you'd be very surprised. My mom was like the biggest hater of like a drop waist style. She tried on my new skirt and loved it and looked so good in it. So that's coming. Fall is kind of smaller for me. My main seasons are like spring and summer,
Okay.
but still a lot of fun stuff. Some really fun blouses, and like elevated basic stuff. Holiday, I've been quite busy with because I'm actually expanding this holiday into a thing called Hey Friends Home. So we're not
Ooh,
getting out of the closet and we're doing more like table linens,
cool.
placemats, like tissue box covers, like things like home things.
Okay.
So I'm like a home line. It's really fun. I'm really excited. So that's in
Yeah,
the works
that
too.
would be great and great for like that gift time of year too,
More
right?
giftable stuff. The problem right now, I'm trying to like, decide prints right now, and I'm liking too many of them. And I'm like, how many like cocktail napkins can I really offer to sell? You know, because like
Yes.
I gotta put a cap on it. Yeah.
Yeah, totally.
So then spring
Since
next
this
year,
is
summer next year, just oh my gosh, a lot in the works right now.
so exciting. So, since this is the Preppy podcast, I always ask everyone, what does Preppy mean to you? So, how would you describe Preppy?
Yes. To me, preppy is just having so much fun. No matter what you are doing, what you're dressing for, it's just having fun. But I also love like the classic twist on that too, like the classic styles. And I say Hey Friends is very polished, and I think being preppy is so like polished in the best way possible. So
Yep.
just having fun with what you're wearing, what you're doing, having fun while you do it.
That's a great answer. Everyone loves to have fun, right? And wants to live a fun lifestyle. So definitely preppy. And now I'm curious, like, what are some of your other favorite small businesses or brands? I like to ask this question to sort of spotlight other people that you love and want to support, or maybe pair really nicely with Hey Friends.
Yes, my dear friend Wendy Seeger, she runs Wendy's Good Things Market in Colorado. Her and I have gone to some like a few markets together, like at Dallas the last few years. And her line, she's more of like an elevated front couture. I say that she's like an elevated Joanna Gaines.
Oh,
Um,
cool. Okay.
and we just get along so great. She has an incredible company out there, and her story as well is like incredible what she has done and built herself. You have to check her out. She is
Yes.
just one of my best friends. So I'm being biased. But she recently also started making clothing. She had a whole gourmet food line that she's now doing clothing, like me. And just the best styles, so classic. Her pieces are made so beautifully. So she's
Oh,
always my number one shout out whenever I can.
okay. Okay, what's that Instagram handle or brand name again?
Wendy's Good Things Market.
Wendy's Good Things Market. Okay, I'm going to check that out for sure. So, now anything else you want to tease or sneak peek? Obviously, we have holiday. You said it's going to be home, fall, some elevated basics again. Any like trunk shows or things like that before we wrap up?
No, no big trunk shows. I kind of right now I'm like a hermit. I'm kind of enjoying just like me in my office every day by myself on my
Yes.
computer. Nothing crazy. I did go to Dallas Market last year for a wholesale
Okay.
show. I'm not this year.
Okay.
It's hard for a team of one to like
Yes.
leave my office for a week, fly to Dallas with like also like 5 suitcases of clothes. Um,
Yes.
be there for a week. It is a lot. And honestly, I sell wholesale just a ton online from
Hmm.
the comfort of my own desk, just cold, emailing that way.
Yep.
So at the moment, so no crazy chunk shows this year. Just trying to get ahead, trying to plan, trying to just like design my butt off, and that's kind of my plan right now, which is really fun. And honestly, for Hey Friends, I show a lot of like behind the scenes of clothing production, whether that's problems I have, like my first samples. I really love showing kind of like the nitty gritty things because you see like a top, you'll be at the store and see like a top on a rack and be like, oh, it's cute, but like I like to show how that top's made, why it was made that way, and how I designed it. So that's kind of like a fun thing I do. So now I'm focused more on that kind of stuff. So
Yep.
no crazy trunk shows. Maybe though, you never know. I feel like things always pop up. You never know.
Yeah. Well, I was going to actually mention that you do like such a great job of showing behind the scenes and really engaging with your customers and followers, like showing them sneak peeks or asking their opinions on designs. So I think you do a great job of that on social media, which leads me then to my next question of where can people find you if they don't already follow you, if they haven't shopped before, let them know social media handles and website.
Yes. So my Instagram is Hey Friends by Shafe, and then what did I just say? Sorry.
Hey, friends,
So yeah, my Instagram is Hey Friends by Shafe, and then my website is heyfriendsbyshafe.com. So very similar.
Perfect. All right. Well, this has been so much fun, Schaefer, learning about you, learning about your business. And I love a fellow Pennsylvania girly. So thank you so much for being on the podcast.
No, I loved it. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for listening to the Preppy Podcast. I hope this put a little prep in your step for the day. Please subscribe, rate, and review on wherever you listen to your podcast, and follow along with @the Preppy Podcast on social media.